All right.
We're good at the back.
Go for it.
Timmy. Are you okay?
Good, mate. You?
Yeah, good, thanks. Can we start with injuries? We know you've got this long injury list, so have you got anything positive that you can share to give you a lift ahead of the weekend?
I think the big ones are obviously the one or two who've come back in the last couple of weeks. So George has had a few more days training. Obviously Ozzy. Will, Osula and Lowe aren't ready, but they're not far away, which is good. And then the other boys are more long-term, as hopefully Anel and Ollie Mack will be back soon enough, but not for this weekend.
It's been a tough start in terms of fixtures. I think you played 6 of the top 9 sides. You played the top 3, but the next 4 games look a little kinder on paper. So how crucial is this phase of the season for you, your future, and for survival hopes for the team?
Yeah, I think you've got to approach every game to try and take the points. We know some are more difficult than others. I thought Saturday proved that. We've been in and amongst it against other teams at the top and took teams right to very wire and not got the points which some performances maybe deserved. But Saturday there was definitely gulf. Some games we know are going to be like that. We're playing a good team at the weekend who are in good form. But yeah, as you say, we've got the next few games, more teams in the bottom half. But really, I don't think at this level it makes too much difference. Listen, Arsenal away is a top fixture, really tough. We get that, and there's not many harder. Yeah, so in that respect, it's a little bit easier. However, if we're not at it, if we're not performing to our best, we know it's going to be a difficult day. However, if we are performing to our best, as we've shown in numerous games already, there's no reason why we can't take points.
This team was used to winning most weeks last season. So how do you deal with it when this season you're on a long sequence without a win? And how does it affect the mentality?
Yeah, it does affect it, but not this team. This club, we were used to winning, but don't think we've had a lot of changes. And that's been one of the problems. But to get over that, to get the confidence, to get the belief, I think one or two of those victories, one or two of those games, if they had have come the victories, whether it was Spurs, whether Everton, whether City, whichever one of those games, and you're picking up points, that's what gives the belief. At the minute, we could talk about how close we've been in all those games, but that confidence will only come when we get over the line. That's it.
Do you think you are close to when you've talked about in the past how you've been close, but it's fine margins? Do you feel as though you can get?
Yeah, listen, it's fine margins, and we have to make sure we're in the game. I look back if the Arsenal game, they were better than us. I look back to the United game where I thought we're playing really well first half, but fall behind, and we do really well then to get back in front. And then we were disappointed, obviously, with the nature of how we conceded. But apart from that, I think their best moments came from 25 yards, and one of them happened to go in. So they are the margins, but we're playing against players who can score from 25 yards, So, yeah, there's evidence there in all the games but the belief has to be there, the performance has to be there, the energy has to be there to get us over the line and get us in those positions where we can scrap and fight to get over the line. That's it. And then 3 points, whatever it is, changes the outlook of the season. But it won't change our approach, because no matter what, we win the next 2 games, nothing's really changed in terms of what our ambitions are and what our aims are. We have to try and get as many points as possible, simple as.
Thank you, good luck.
Cheers, mate.
Paul, is George Baldock fit enough to start now, if you so wish? Yeah,
he's obviously missed a good few weeks, but he's a fit boy anyway. In terms of his injury, his calf, what he did when he was away with Greece, we more than confident with that. He's in a good place with it. So we're considering him now.
And with what you said around Ollie and Anel, have you got kind of clear timescales on them now? Are they more
just
weeks
as soon as
months?
Yeah. So it shouldn't be long. This game, too early. Next game, possibility. Obviously after that it's the international break and we get an extra 2 weeks. So we want them back as soon as possible, but we won't risk anything because of the muscle injury. We won't risk anything.
One of the ones that we haven't asked for a while for an update on is Rhys Norrington-Davies. How's he getting on?
Yeah, just progressing his usual rehab, mixture of gym work to build up his strength, and on the grass he's progressing well. He's not happy where he is, but he's happy with seeing progression now, which is really, really good. But he's not in our thoughts for these games coming up.
Are you optimistic that he can play a part this season?
Desperate for him to be desperate for him to be back. Listen, we put him in the squad. We named him in the squad early on. So he's. But again, he comes back. He's missed a lot of football. We have to be patient when he is back. But it'd just be nice to get him back amongst the group, because I think everyone could see he was progressing really, really well, and we'd love to pick up where he left off.
Certainly there was lots of frustration around the performance and the result at Arsenal last weekend. Clearly they're an excellent team. Was there any other way you could have gone about the game to get a little bit more out of it?
Yeah, what, you mean in hindsight looking back?
Yeah.
Yeah, when we look, so in terms of the game plan in the first half, how we dealt with them without the ball, we're happy. We felt when we got in moments with the ball in the first half, and particularly on the break, we didn't produce the quality that we needed in the final third. Simple as. We will always be critical of ourselves and look at what we could have done better. I think it's easier when you watch the game back to see what Arsenal did very well. Big moments, so comfortable leaving their centre-backs 1v1, for example, against our forwards, which allows us to get pressure out there. But that's the level we're dealing with, and we have to compete and look forward to playing against these top players. That's it. So, yeah, that was an issue in the first half. And the nature of the goals, we've said many a time, we need to make sure that we're all performing at a level to give ourselves the best possible chance. We weren't happy with the goals we conceded, so ultimately we never gave ourselves a chance.
Because Ollie Norwood was pretty strong after the game in terms of the players and their responsibility in that. Do you need to kind of see that more individually, and people, taking more account themselves for some of these moments? Yeah,
we do. But I think in the second half, the goals took the game away from us. And it makes the game really difficult. Then when they're bringing on the substitutes we are, and we're bringing on the substitutes we are, against no disrespect, it's fighting against that emotion when you're 3-0 down and they're bringing on multi-million-pound players. We're giving Ryan his debut. That's just the reality, though. We have to keep competing. The game may have gone. It may have gone. But that's the challenge, the mentality of the situation that we find ourselves in. We have to go and compete and still keep, in my view, keep striving to be the best you can be and competing against these top players. And because that's the level we've got ourselves to.
Because obviously, like, from an individual perspective and a collective perspective, you have shown against some of the top teams, like the Man United game the weekend before, that you can get a little bit.
Yeah, but we've still not won, so we've still not done enough. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying, that we have to scrap and fight for those margins. A pat on the back in a game for us is not good enough. We have to get the point, simple. And that's what we need to continue fighting for, and understand that. Don't shy away from being brave or being the one that may make the mistake. We have to be brave to take the ball. We have to be brave to go and compete, to try and win the ball back. And if the other teams are good enough to deal with us, so what? But we want that performance. Because we've shown, when, even if it's been in games and we haven't quite managed to do it for 90 minutes, we've shown that when we have done it, we've been good enough. But we've got to produce that for longer and be more consistent at delivering that.
You went with Ryan Brewster ahead of Cameron Archer. Do you potentially need to try and get both of them on the pitch at the same time to have a bit more impact up top?
Yeah, we do, but we've also got to protect them, especially Ryan. When Cam's been leading the line now after not having a big pre-season, very, very well, and I've been really pleased with how he's approached what we've asked him to do. But we tried to get as many attacking players on the pitch as we could against Arsenal, but still have that defensive discipline, which we did, but we didn't deliver. We didn't deliver in the final third. We need to deliver this weekend.
And Slimane got his first start. What have you made of him? What did you make of him last weekend and his progress since joining the club this summer?
He's learning a lot. We've been really clear on his role and where he needs to help us and help himself get more minutes on the pitch without the ball. Can't be too loose. But do you know what? He's really showing me that he wants to do it. He's really showing me that he wants to compete. He's really showing me that he wants to learn. And I don't think for 1 minute that he likes not being in the 11. Does that make sense? I can see it, I know it, and I like his personality. And I feel like in these last few weeks he's performed better.
Does he need to be knocking on your door a bit more, though? I know he's a young man, but he's still an international footballer.
What, in terms of his person? No, I see it in his personality. He has to show me it more and more. So when you're picking a team and you're looking for things, I need evidence. I need evidence. I need to show me on the training pitch. You need to show me when they're on the pitch. If I see things that aren't going to help us, I'm more likely not to play you, and that's the message. So, but I think I'm seeing more and more of the things that make him a more effective player with and without the ball, because I believe he's got the mind for it and the desire to do well. Definitely.
Is he an example of kind of the step up in terms of playing in the Premier League from where he's been before?
100%, yeah. But he's also
he was the initial signing, and he's the market that you've been able to shop in.
Yeah, 100%. It's big jump for him. Big jump. But even regard that in terms of domestic football, he's had experiences in the World Cup. He's had big, you know what I mean? So and those performances, how he's gone about approaching those games, like I said, are also in my head. And I see that he doesn't shirk it, regardless of the level. And like I said, where he wants to improve, where he needs to improve, he's desperate to do it, and I can see that in him.
If some national reports were to be believed last week, you wouldn't be sitting here right now, Paul. You clearly are. Does it annoy you, frustrate you that clearly someone somewhere is feeding this stuff out?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
But do you, in terms of what's been written about you recently, think it's unfair, some of the criticism that you've got in those reports, all from supporters?
We're not winning. So it sort of comes with the territory, doesn't it? But so as we're speaking now, we'll continue to work. As if you watch us work, if you come in and see us, if you watch us, the players, certainly continue to do the job the best we can, and we'll continue to push as well as we can with the resources we've got, and that won't change.
Would you welcome some form of statement from the club? We saw it with Nottingham Forest last year, and the impact that it had with them, just to give you the kind of backing to say you are the man for the club for the longer term.
No, it doesn't. No, don't need that.
You don't feel you need that at all? Have you had those kind of conversations with Steve Bettis?
Yeah, we speak all the time. Myself, Steve, Prince Abdullah, the board, about lots of issues, the club going forward, where we need to improve, where we need investment. What we spoke about, the longer term plan for the club regarding the hotel becoming a Cat 1, new training facility, which are priorities. Yeah, we speak all the time. So
results aside, essentially business as usual in terms of those conversations that you've
It has
had.
to be. I don't think I think I've sat here lots of times and tried not to shirk any questions from you guys, whether it's been about selling the club, about transfer embargoes, about selling players, I've tried not to shirk anything, I'm trying not to shirk this, but this is really, I'm probably the last person you need to be speaking to about it. Does that make sense? What I can say is what I'm saying now, that's it. There's nothing to add on it, nothing at all. We go about as work, we enjoy what we do, but it's a results business, so there's always going to be that when you're not winning.
How much of a psychological boost would it be then if you got at least a point this weekend just to kind of end the current losing run?
Yeah, definitely. That's what we need. That's what we're striving for. And like I said, we've been close so many times and not got over the line and given everyone that little lift. I'd love it to be 3, not 1. But I also know how good a team Wolves are and how Gary's got them going now, and they've had a consistent way of playing now in these last 5 games with the shape they've played and the performance levels. So yeah, we know what type of team are going to be coming to Bramall Lane this weekend, and we know it's going to be tough.
How much credit does Gary deserve for the impact that he's managed to have at Wolves in such a short space of time? Because it wasn't so long ago that Wolves were being considered as one of those teams in that mini league that we talked about last week.
Yeah. But listen, a lot of it makes me laugh when teams are down there and you're looking, and I think squad-wise, Gary, I'll admit, they've got a real strong squad, real strong, with some real talent. And as I say, I think he's got, certainly in the last 5 games, I'm looking at how they've set up and delivering performances which seem to get the best out of their players, not only 11 but then the squad and the changes that he makes as well. So yeah, they're in a good place.
is it vital? I know you've touched on this before, that essentially you just don't let any game pass you by, because you can look at all these teams as difficult.
Yeah, every team's difficult. Every game's difficult at the level we're at, but we have to be. The more we're in there, the more we're in those positions to capitalise when a team has an off day. When we get these moments in the game, we have to be clinical. We have to be ruthless, and that's it. And we give ourselves the best chance of winning there. So yeah, we'll always strive to be the best in every game and try and get points in every game. We understand how hard it is at this level, but there's an expectation from me that we do it. I've done it with a lot of these players in the past. Some not so much, but I've seen them do it at other clubs. But we have to show that togetherness and that spirit to deliver with this group now. Looking forward to coming up against Tommy Doyle again. Was he somebody that you'd have loved to have been in red and white this weekend? Yes, and it's a good move for Tommy. He's in the Premier League. He can go and try and get established at this level now, which is what he wanted. And we had a good time together last year. Just finally, Billy Sharp's time at LA Galaxy has come to an end. Clearly, I know he'd like to go back there again next year, but is he somebody that you've thought about kind of getting back around the club or training here or doing bits? I know you wanted to sign him on again in the summer. Yeah, I think that ship sailed, hasn't it? Yeah. Okay, thank you, Paul. Cheers, mate.
Hi, Paul. How are you personally coping with the kind of scrutiny and pressure that comes with not winning for a while, and how does it change what you do on a day-to-day, week-to-week basis?
Coping with it and it's part of it. Yeah, I think when you're in this job, until anyone's done it, I think sometimes results are the easy thing to take care of in the football. You know, I can't deny that results dictate how you feel a lot of the time, but the football's the sort of the business you're always in, what you enjoy doing. So from that respect, I try and focus on that and make sure that part of the job's always at the forefront for me. Sometimes it's not, and there's a lot of distractions. This is a distraction without a doubt. But no, it's not. It's not particularly different. The job wouldn't be particularly different if we were winning games. We would still be approaching things in the same way and expecting the same levels and pushing. However, the questions you guys would be asking me would be different, and the noise around it would be different. That's the change. It doesn't really change the job.
We spoke to Ben Osborn today, and he said that there was a players-only meeting. Is that a rare occurrence? Is it a routine thing, and how does it help?
Well, we'll see. We'll see how it helps. In terms of here, not a rarity in terms of players leading meetings and taking meetings, but generally that will be on how we want to play and what we want to do. This one a little bit different. I came into the dressing room at the weekend after the game, and the lads were talking, so I let them go a little bit. But yeah, I thought it was important then that they followed that up and spoke. They've been really clear in what standards they want to raise and how they want to perform, and what they've not been happy with and how they're going to address that. And that's good. There's got to be some element of ownership there, without a doubt. Yeah. So I think it's healthy. Yeah, it's more like a sprint now, isn't it? Yeah. So that's it. But in all honesty, we're not looking at the 30 games right now. We're looking at the next game, and then we're looking at the teams in around us. And I think that's going to be our focus, certainly for the immediate future. It's going to be that bottom third of the league and us competing and scrapping with those teams.
Does everyone still believe that you can turn this around and get out of it?
Yeah, we do internally. I know there's a lot said out of it, and people say whatever they want. That's fine, but yeah, do you know what? All the people with opinions there, they don't get judged on their opinions. You know, they get wrong every week, and they're still in a job the following week. Myself and the players, we are, and this is what we like about our job. We actually do have to perform. We actually do have to deliver. You know, we can't just say what we want and make things up and do whatever and still be in a job, whereas lots of people can in and around football.
Yeah, a lot of people talking about Derby and 9 points and everything like that. Does that to the motivation, or do you just ignore all that?
Ignore it.
Well, good stuff. Go on then, Dan.
Just going back to the conversation of